Masculine energy attracts feminine energy. So this is the topic for today's video, and I want to talk about this because I was talking with a coaching client today because he's finally experiencing what it feels like to really be with a woman who is completely in her feminine energy. Because this is something that he really struggled with when he first came to me. He was involved with women who were exhibiting much more masculine traits, but he was exhibiting traits that were very feminine. So this is something that a lot of guys simply are not aware of when it comes to their own behavior. So I'm going to dive in a little bit today into this topic. But first, I want to give a shout out to the military. Today's Memorial Day in the United States. And so I want to give a shout out to everyone, all the members of the military who have given their lives for this country. And for those of you who are currently enlisted and continue to put your life on the line to defend the United States, thank you for your service. Okay, so getting back to this topic of masculine energy attracts feminine energy. So the client that I had, he, like I said, was involved in relationships in the past where he wasn't fully bringing his masculine presence to it. And I think this is the same for a lot of men out there. So many of you guys out there are indeed masculine. Okay, you work hard when it comes to studying. You work hard when it comes to your career. Okay. Maybe it's your hobbies, maybe it's your side passions. You have that natural masculine ability. But when it comes to a relationship, it's as if all of a sudden you just switch. Something happens where you lose that when it comes to a romantic relationship, when it comes to your interactions with women. And because of this, the woman that you're with, she may have started off very feminine, but because of your behavior, she slowly slips into more of a masculine role, and eventually things go sideways. Or you attract very masculine women from the very get-go, and you're inexplicably frustrated all the time. It just doesn't go smoothly. You don't feel valued. You feel undermined at times. You just don't feel like she has any respect for you, or you're just, getting ghosted, or you feel like you're walking on eggshells, all of these different things. These are things that my client was experiencing up until he's been able to work with me and learn a new way of doing things. Okay. So how many of you guys out there have been in a situation like this where you just don't feel like you're the man of the relationship? Okay. It's just like, it's always a struggle for power almost. It's like maybe she's one-upping you, or maybe you just don't feel like she looks up to you, and you don't feel fully like as the man in the relationship. Not to say that, you're like this caricature of a man, but you just don't feel like you're in your full masculine and she's in her full feminine. Okay. How many of you guys out there have felt this before? Okay. Well, this particular client, let me explain to you what he was doing before. First of all, he was always available. And so he was not putting his life mission and purpose first. So with his ex-girlfriend, he was always available, always responding immediately to any text that she sent him. And it was like she was the priority in his life. That's a bad move. Okay. He was not putting himself first. He was not putting his mission first. Women want to feel that you have something external that you're fighting for. When you give this up to, be there, always be there for her whenever she reaches out for you, something about that signals to her that you're putting her first. And that's a form of pedestalization. It's not a good look. It doesn't work out. 2, he was being too logical. He wasn't being playful and behaving like the leader in the relationship that she could look up to. Instead, he was being Mr. Congenial, Mr. 50-50, and it sucked out the polarity in the relationship. Okay. Now he's focusing on his life mission and purpose. He's focusing on what he needs to do, while at the same time being a leader with her. He's very charming. He's caring. He's playful. He's loving to her, but he's very firm in being able to say when he needs his own time versus when he's with her, he gives her all of his full attention. And this these two shifts that he's made has brought about an incredible change with the way that women interact with him. They now can trust his masculine core and feel much more comfortable to be in their feminine. And it's a beautiful thing. And so I talked to him today, and I have the call recorded here. So I'm going to play just a small clip of sort of what happened that caused him to go through this and realize this and how that felt to him. So let's check it out.
Like later on, I got a few messages from her as well. And this is just peak feminine stuff, like, right? And she was like, "You're doing a great job. Just put a little bit more effort in it, and I trust that you're gonna do well."
Nice,
And
nice.
by the way, this perfume of yours, like with the melting face and the heart and such, it's just, yeah, it's great to see like comments like that. And
That's great, man. Congratulations.
yeah,
Does that feel good?
yeah. It feels really good. It's so strange because if you compare her to so many girls that are constantly talking with either a lot of people, they don't tend to send these messages with so much passion or love or whatever it is. Um, but I really feel she's being underappreciated in life on its own already. Like she moved and she's doing a study to become a teacher, so that's all girls and this and that. And she's doing volleyball, so that's also a women's sport in general. And so she had a lot of trouble finding or going out with like guys at all. So she never really had dates before. Um, just one, but that he did a horrible job. So like,
He's not a
so.
scoundrel.
Yeah, exactly. And so I guess like, well, she's just really kind, very empathetic, very caring.
Okay, so you can just see how different of a shift he's experiencing right now and how good it feels to feel a woman's feminine energy. It's an amazing feeling, guys. I remember when I first experienced this for the first time when I was figuring this stuff out, and it was amazing. You really felt like a man. You felt confident. You're like, damn, like I now truly feel what it means to be a masculine leader with a woman that I'm seeing. It's an amazing feeling. So for those of you who need some sort of like, well, how exactly do you do this? Well, here's a really quick action item for you. Learn to make decisions. I think this is probably the easiest thing that you can do right away to make a shift in the way you interact with women is learn to be decisive. So what do I mean by this? Let's just keep it super simple with asking a girl out. A lot of guys will say, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And what are you doing there? You're forcing her to make a decision. Making decisions is masculine energy. The less you can make her make decisions and do things that are masculine based, the better it'll be for you because she'll feel more comfortable. You'll give her the space to be feminine. That's how you really create a switch in how women see you and how they act towards you. So if you feel like I've never really felt a woman be feminine and kind and caring and loving towards me in that way before, learn to make decisions. Okay, so once, for example, if you're asking a girl out, this is how you do it from the very beginning. You ask a girl out, she tells you what day she's free, then you can be like, okay, boom, let's meet at this time at this location. You set the time, you set the location, and then go from there. Okay, let's meet at 7 o'clock at Applebee's. How's that sound? She's like, great. And if you make this small shift, countless women have told me this. Countless women have told my clients this. They're like, wow, like I really appreciate the fact that you just decided on a place for us to meet instead of going, back and forth. So a lot of times I'll ask them like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, is that not how usually things go with you? And when you go out with people, go out with guys, and I like to just play dumb because I want to it's just kind of fun to hear them say exactly what they go through because this solidifies why it's so important to be decisive. They'll say, yeah, a lot of guys just they can't make up their mind. They're asking me what I want to do, and it would take so long to decide on just a place to meet. So you can imagine, after going through all this, the woman is exhausted, and she's gonna slowly pull back from a man who pushes her to be masculine all the time. And how are guys doing this? By making her make all the decisions. Don't You don't want a woman to you don't want to put a woman in a position where she has to be masculine. You want her to be the feminine one. You need to be the one who's masculine. This will create a space for her to be feminine, and then you will get to experience the rewards and the benefits of a woman who feels safe and comfortable to be feminine around you. And that's really, and also it's not just feel comfortable and safe around you. You're going to attract women who are so deeply feminine. It's going to, and the women maybe that you've dated before that were much more masculine and just not as fun to be with, they're going to kind of fade away. And the women who are just naturally comfortable being feminine are going to come towards you. So it's a beautiful shift. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding with that particular client. He's experiencing it now. And it's like, damn, it feels good. So that's what I want for you guys, to experience yourself being in your full masculine and experience a woman being in her full feminine, because this is really the way it's supposed to be. And this is what feels the best. And once you experience this, you're not going to be able to go back to the way you used to be. All right. So that does it for this video. I will see you in the next one.